Our US correspondent Ketavan Gorjestani is on the line. Ketavan, what more can you tell us?
Well, according to local Puerto Rican authorities, as of this morning, there are now more than 1 million people still without power, and they're saying that restoring power to all of these homes will take several days. So this is not going to be over anytime soon. The other thing that they're looking at very closely is that even if the worst of the storm, of the hurricane itself, has moved on to the north, there are still heavy rains bringing more water to a situation that is already pretty dire. You've already seen flash floods over the past couple of days. They're very worried about potential landslides, and this water is still surging, and so they're asking those people that live in lower areas to try to find shelter in higher ground. About the President of the United States, who spoke to the governor of Puerto Rico as he was on his flight back from London to Washington. He told the governor that the federal government would be coming to the help of Puerto Rico. There are already 300 federal personnel on the ground already working there. The FEMA administrator is heading to Puerto Rico to oversee the situation there and how to help best the island recover, because this is, of course, happening 5 years, almost to the day after Hurricane Maria made landfall in Puerto Rico 5 years ago. That hurricane was much stronger, bringing a much more destruction because of heavy winds. This time around, not so many heavy winds, but of course that rain that I was mentioning, which they are extremely worried about, and the fact that this power outage is still going strong. This, of course, because the electrical grid was really destroyed 5 years ago, and that they're still sort of rebuilding that island following Hurricane Maria.
Ketavan Gorjestani, thank you very much.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 29, verse 6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest, and the flame of devouring fire. Before I get on, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Barakathum, to you hopeful elect out there. All right, and just to get straight into it, because everyone's with the whole quote-unquote pray for Puerto Rico, right? But nevertheless, like Jeremiah said, man, when you read in the book of Jeremiah, and I often bring this point out dealing with Jeremiah, because Jeremiah, he's known as the weeping prophet. All right, when Jeremiah was pretty much told the destruction that was getting ready to come to the Israelites, which are you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians. Jeremiah, he was in that spirit of basically sympathetic for Israel. He pretty much didn't want the Lord to really open that can of whoop ass on Jake. But seeing how wicked our people were, Jeremiah, he eventually got to a point where he was like, the hell with Israel, man. These niggas need to be destroyed. And again, because when you go into Jeremiah, he even on a few accounts, scriptures talk about how he said, pray not for these people, man. You see, so again, while everyone is in the spirit of all prayers for Puerto Rico, nevertheless, again, we ought to pray not for these people, all right, unless they be of the elect. And because you got our people, and mainly the elect amongst our people scattered abroad. All right, we pray for them, but other than that, nah, man, the hell with Jake, because a lot of us at one point we were in that spirit of all Jake being saved, right? But again, because it takes time and experience, all right, for you to get to a point where it's just like, man, they need to be destroyed, man. So the hell with these people, you see. And they are being visited of the Lord. All right. You see, because when it comes to the judgments, and this is nothing but judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai. When it comes to the judgments of Yahweh Bashim Shai, all right, you see, the thing is, again, you know, we've been trying to warn our people for many years, starting with the apostles, all right, and on down. We've been trying to warn our people. We've been trying to tell our people, you know, reprove our people of the many transgressions, all right, and just to, you know, to stay, to stick to the topic dealing with Ephraim, which are you so-called Puerto Ricans, you know, which Ephraim, they're supposed to be or they are the head tribe of the Northern Kingdom, you know, the so-called Hispanic tribes, all right. And you see, the thing about it is, you know, again, we've been telling you, especially you Ephraimites, you so-called Puerto Ricans, as well as all you northern tribes, or you Hispanic tribes, because you see, I know that a major religion that is worshipped out there, a major religion that is worshipped out there, you know, a lot of them Ephraimites, they worship that they're into the Cedric Borgia, man. They can't get off that Jesus juice, you know, that the so-called Jesus Christ, right? You see a lot of our people out there, they're you know, they're the Catholics, right? You know, they worshiping the you know, you see a lot of them Ephraimites, some so-called Puerto Ricans wearing the rosemary chains and beads and stuff like that. Well, all that goes into idols. All right, all that's idol worship. And you see, Yahweh Bashim Shai, man, you know, he's had enough. It's a great offense to the Heavenly Father. You see, and he's had enough of it. So, like I said, with that being said, you know, Jake, they don't want to take heed to the reproof. Well, hey, you know, this is what happens. This is what you get. All right, because like I said, you know, our people, man, especially the northern tribes, man, they can't shake off that Jesus juice, man. That Cedric Borgia, the Serapis Christus. You know, and this is why, hey, they're being visited of the Lord. So I'm gonna get this in Isaiah 28. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, woe to the crown of woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim. All right, again, you so-called Puerto Ricans, as well as the rest of you Hispanic tribes, you know, because you know, you got the you know, that hurricane basically tearing up a lot of those Caribbean islands and whatnot down there in that area. All right, like I believe Simeon, which are the so-called Dominicans, you know, they're catching hell as well. You know, and it's funny because I saw a video, because you see, the thing about, again, our people, especially the so-called Hispanic tribes, you know, they look down on Jake. You know, they look down a lot on the Southern Kingdom, which consists of the so-called Negroes, right? West Indians and Haitian tribe, you know, those tribes, all right, which they, you know, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, all right. You know, a lot of the Northern Kingdom, they look down on the Southern Kingdom, you know, and not knowing and understanding that we're the same people at the end of the day. You know, when it's all said and done, we're the same people. But you see, again, them Northern tribes, man, them Hispanic tribes, they have such a pride and a disdain, you see, because I was going to make this point about how I saw a video going into, I believe it was Simeon at that, so-called Dominicans. I saw a video where a mother, she was trying to basically give a doll to her daughter, right? She had a black doll and she had a white doll, and she was trying to get the black doll to her daughter, but you had the grandmother, she was basically pushing the black doll away and trying to give her the white doll. You see, because again, our people, man, them Hispanic tribes, they have such a disdain against the Southern kingdoms, the so-called black, so-called Negroes, you know, the Southern tribes. You see, again, not knowing and understanding we're the same people at the end of the day, man. And like I said, you know, our people, they just can't shake off that Jesus juice. They just love the so-called white man, you know. But again, it says Isaiah 28:1. It says, woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim. All right, you so-called Puerto Ricans, and as well as you northern tribes, you Hispanic tribes, because like I said, Ephraim, they're just the head tribe of the northern kingdom. All right, the Hispanic tribes. Right. It says, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower, which are on the head of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine. All right, and this wine going into, it's not talking about being drunk off of, actual wine, but the different philosophies, all right, that our people are dipping and dabbling in. You see, our people are drunk off Esau, that like I said, that Jesus juice, man. You know, they love massa, man. They just can't shake this Jesus juice. They just can't shake off the so-called white man, because this man has portrayed himself to be God. All right, and our people are drunk. They're drunk with his wine, with his different philosophies. You see, and like I said, man, it's to the point where, when it comes to their own people, the darker tribe, so to say, which, color doesn't really have much to do with it, because you got a lot of so-called Negroes that look like, the so-called white men, and you got a lot of Ephraimites that look like so-called black men, because when it comes to our people, we're all different shades from a light brown to a dark brown. So, like I said, color doesn't mean anything, but nevertheless, this is one of those things that our people are, when it comes to when they're drunk off the wine. This this is one of those things that our people, they're drunk off of, man. This is a part of the philosophies that our people have, soaked in, man. Because again, that's one thing that we teach is it's not a thing about color. If if through the seed of your father, all right, if your line goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, regardless of what color you are, all right, you're an Israelite. As a matter of fact, because again, our people have such a disdain for, the southern tribes. But check this out. Check this out. Just bear with me real quick as I look for this. I know it's in the book of Hosea, and you see the thing, that's another thing, like when you read throughout the book of Hosea, all right, the prophet Hosea, he was basically cursing the northern kingdoms out, the northern tribes. He was basically cursing them out because of this idol worship. Like I said, man, you go to Puerto Rico, man, all right, and you see what Puerto Rico, like I said, the Lord's been visiting them, because they talk about how pretty much the whole island is without power and whatnot. They've been having rolling blackouts. The Lord has been jacking them up ever since that Hurricane Maria a couple of years ago. All right, the power grid has been jacked up, and they've been having rolling blackouts. It's been said the power went out before this hurricane even hit. So the Lord's been jacking them up. You see, the Lord's been visiting them. But the book of Hosea chapter 7, again, because our people, the northern tribes, they have such a disdain for the dark skinned men, right? Not knowing that we're the same people, right? But check this out. Because Jake, man, they hate their brothers, man. They hate their own brothers, just because of the skin color, because they don't look like the so-called white man, right? But when you read this in Hosea 7 and 8, it says, Ephraim, again, is so-called Puerto Ricans, which they're the head of the northern kingdom, all right? So really all you Hispanic tribes, right? And you see this whole thing this beef between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, all right? Blacks and Hispanics, so to say. This has been going back. This is nothing new. This is history that goes back ever since King Solomon fell. All right, and when he died, all right, and ever since he died, you had this beef between the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. So this is this is nothing new. All right, all this beef between all the tribes, Bloods and Crips, and Hispanics versus black. This is old history. Just bear with me real quick. So back in Hosea chapter 7 verse 8, it says, Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. So you see, all right. Now when you bake a cake, all right, you leave it on one side too long, it's going to be darker than the other side. You know, one side is going to be darker, all right, and the other side is going to be is going to be lighter. But you see, just to show you how, again, because all of our people are scattered amongst the different nations, so our people look like all the nations. You know, there's Israelites scattered amongst all the nations. So like I said before, you're going to have Jake looking like Japanese, so-called Japanese, and, you know, all these other nations looking like so-called white men. All right. But even you Ephraimites, you Hispanics, you Hispanic tribes. All right. You know, hey, some of you, because like I said, a lot of our people, we from a different, we're different shades of from a dark brown to a light brown. You know, we're all different shades of color. So, you know, again, you Ephraimites, you so-called Puerto Ricans, the fact that you just have such a proud attitude. And that's another thing I often mention, you know, because a lot of them Hispanic tribes, man, them Hispanic tribes, you know, speaking that Espanol, they take pride in that, right? Not knowing and understand, you're speaking the language of your conquerors, man. You know, you take pride in a language that is not even your language, all right? You know, that's the language of your conquerors. Spanish is not our language, just like English. English is not our language. You know, but nevertheless, again, just to show the pride of our people, man, and more so you Ephraimites, man, you so-called Puerto Ricans, right? And like I said, hey, Hosea, man, he was cursing you northern, you Hispanic tribes out because of the, you know, the idol worship. Because I was gonna make the point about you go over there to Puerto Rico. You go over there to Puerto Rico, man, and you got guaranteed, man, you going, you know, them Ephraimites, they got all type of pictures of Cedric Borgia, and like I said, with the rosemary beads and Santa Maria and all that bullshit, well, you know, and it's going to be a shame unto you. You see, because like now, Ephraim is catching hell, right? Well, what is your God? Your gods, those gods that you worship, or excuse me, those idols that you worship, what are they doing to you, or what are they doing for you? You see. And this is why, hey, we push the names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, because, hey, when it's all said and done and all hell's breaking loose, the names that you call on for deliverance, it can either be for your salvation or your condemnation. The Lord might put you in a situation to where, depending on who you call on, all right, you see, if you don't know the true names of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua and you still calling on Jesus, Cedro Borgia, right, Jesus Christos, right, you're going to call on them, those names, then hey, it'll be for your condemnation. You see? So what are those guys doing for you right now? Because clearly, you know, they're not saving you. You see? The scriptures refer to them as dumb idols. They can't, you know, they have to be set up by man. You know, they can't move. They have to be fashioned, right, with nails. All right, someone has to set them up. So, and these are the gods, these are the idols that you worship. All right, gods that have to be set up by man. Well, hey, you know, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he's the true one and only. He's an omnipotent, all right, the all-powerful being, man. You see? But like I said, you know, hey, enough is enough, man. You know, like I said, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, he's tired, man. He's had enough. You see, because it's a great offense unto him, and he's had enough. You know, but I'm gonna read this real quick. In Hosea chapter 4, verse 17, it says, Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. And you see again, because like I said, Hosea, man, he was constantly cursing out you Hispanic tribes because of this idol worship. Well, y'all want to continue to worship these idols? Well, hey, you know, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to this real quick. In Judges Because again, these idols that you worship is going to be to your shame. You know, hey, the Lord said, which I'm about to get, hey, those idols that y'all like to worship so much, go call on them. Don't call on me no more. I'm you know, I'm sick hearing, you know, I'm just sick of it. That's like I said, that's the Lord's attitude. He's just sick of it. You know, don't call on me no more. Just go call on those gods. Let them save you. Let them deliver you. Right? So in Judges chapter 10, I'll start at verse 9. It says, Moreover, the children of Ammon passed over Jordan to fight against Judah and against Benjamin and against the house of Ephraim. Which again, Judah, Benjamin, Ephraim, all right, you know, tribes of our nation, all right, you know, Israelites. It says, so that Israel was sore distressed, and the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, saying, We have sinned against thee, both because we have forsaken our God and also served Balaam. And the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Did not I deliver you from the Egyptians and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon and from the Philistines? So like I said, you know, everything that the Lord has done for us, yet our people, they give credit to these false idols, man, to these false gods. You see, and again, the Lord has had enough of it. You know, he's had enough of it. Again, the Lord here, he's saying, I'm the one that delivered you from the Egyptians. I'm the one that delivered you from all these other nations when they came against you. I'm the one that delivered you out of their hand. You see, it says, and the Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Mennonites did oppress you, and ye cried unto me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. So, hey, the Lord, again, he's sick of it. He's sick of it, man. Giving credit to these idols, all right, when it was Yahweh Shema Shai is the one that delivered us out of the hand of our enemies. You see? So, hey, the Lord is saying, hey, I'm not going to deliver you no more. You know, these gods that you want to call on, go call on them. Don't call on me. Right? Verse 14, it says, Go cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. So you see, let these idols that you Israelites love to worship so much, let them deliver you. Don't call on me no more. I'm done. You know? That's pretty much the Lord's attitude. You know, I'm sick of it. You see? So I'm going back to the book of Hosea chapter 8, verse 11. It says, Because Ephraim hath made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him to slack it. Because Ephraim hath made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him to sin. So you see, it's pretty much going to be for your own condemnation, man, your own destruction. You know, you were setting up these altars, all right, and like I said, you know, the altars in today, you know, being in the form of these, like I said, you set up these images of Cesare Borgia, Jesus Christos, you know, the Mother Mary, and all this other shit that, you know, you so-called Hispanics, man, y'all love to worship. Is, you know, it's gonna be to your condemnation. You know, it's only going to further add to your iniquities, to your transgressions, and it's going to be to your condemnation, man. You see, because like I said, hey, Hosea, man, he was cursing you Hispanic tribes out, man. You so-called Hispanics, all right. You know, because of the idol worship, man. You see, and like I read in Judges, man, hey, let them save you, and clearly they're not, because hey, again, clearly, you know, you northern tribes, man, you Hispanic tribes, you're going through it, you know. And this is really for the, you know, 2/3, because hey, like I said, you know, I'm sure there's some of those that are of the elect, all right. The Lord's going to show them mercy, and he's going to be with them, all right. But nevertheless, hey, man, you know, hey, no prayers for Puerto Rico, man. You know, y'all got to deal with what y'all got to deal with. You know, and again, let those false gods, let those idols save you. You know, but hopefully this is edifying. All praise to Yahweh B'Shem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh B'Shem Shai Brakathum to you, hopefully elect. Lord's willing, until next time, Shalom.